area, Mount Holly picking up about 8 inches, Pineville at 7.5, Charlotte. Now this is out of the airport, just over 6 inches, but I suspect once we get some updated numbers from that area by early tomorrow morning, that number will be higher, adding on at least a couple more inches. And Matthews also picking up about 6 inches of snow. And whiteout conditions continue. It's I know we're seeing less and less, I feel like, as we look live at this picture over Independence Boulevard heading into East Charlotte, just snow-covered roads. We have a few people driving by, and we've seen the plows going by from time to time, but then pretty quickly after that, in just a matter of minutes, those tracks that are kind of plowed through, they fill back up with more snow that continues to fall out there. So reducing the visibility with the gusty wind too. That's been another part of the weather story, not only reducing visibility, but making it feel much colder than it actually is. Those wind gusts picking up around 25 to close to 35 miles an hour up in the mountains. They've been picking up 20, 25 or so miles per hour elsewhere down through the foothills and the Piedmont. And those gusts are expected to get even higher as we head through the night and first part of the day tomorrow. Gusts of 50 miles per hour possible for you all in the mountain community. So we've got that wind advisory going all the way down through the mountains of Burke and Caldwell counties too through early tomorrow. It's only 8 degrees up in Jefferson. These numbers have been really not moving much all day long, staying well below freezing. 6 in Boone. We've got upper teens to lower 20s in most other neighborhoods. We're now down to 17 in Richmond County with some of that snow that's been blowing through and with any sort of breeze. And this is why we've been saying for people who are outside and trying to have fun, it's like you just can't stay outside for that long before your toes start to feel numb and your fingers and even your body and your face, especially if it's not covered up with one of those face mask type deals. But yeah, it feels like 5 degrees. The wind chill feels like temperature there in Richmond County. Feels like 6 in Charlotte. Feels like the teens heading up into the foothills. And your eyes are probably drawn to that well below 0 up in the mountains. So let's check out Futurecast through 7 o'clock and beyond tonight. Still some scattered lighter snow up in the mountains and foothills. That widespread steadier snow will continue from around the Charlotte metro south and east for another several hours. There we go, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. We could still have some of that lingering snow hanging on east along Highway 74, Waysboro, Rockingham, Chesterfield County, and then everything clears out. Later we get into the night while we're sleeping, we're going to be waking up to abundant sunshine for the second half of the weekend tomorrow. Clouds hang on and some of that blowing snow, some flurries for a little bit longer for you all up in the mountains, but even you will see some sunshine by early next week. But here's the thing, so it's all about the temperatures in terms of melting. We were joking around on Queen City News Plus earlier, and I know a lot of you probably say this too. Oh, it's good old Carolina snow, good old Carolina snowstorm where it falls and then it melts away pretty quickly. That's not going to be the case again with this particular system. I remember that from back in February of '04 where so many people picked up 13 to 16 inches of snow, and we had those piles of snow after the plows were going through the parking lots that were just hanging around for it seemed like months. And so that's going to be the case here, at least for several days, if not weeks even in some cases, especially the parking lots with those heftier piles of snow. Even though the snow will be tapering off, Sunday temperatures below freezing will have some melting taking place Monday afternoon with those highs getting up close to 40, but then refreezing happening at night. Tuesday morning's lows are back in the teens and lower 20s. Will be a little bit more even above freezing by Wednesday morning, but then back in the 20s for overnight temperatures for the rest of next week and heading into the weekend. So extreme cold warning, that's also in effect with those sub-zero wind chills through tomorrow morning. So you just have to keep those safety tips in mind, obviously limiting that time outside. Hypothermia, frostbite can occur in minutes if you don't cover up and protect that exposed skin if you do have to work outside or you have to be outside for a long period of time. Forecast wind chill numbers and even across the Piedmont foothills below 0 when the breeze picks up into tomorrow morning. 20 to 25 degrees below 0 feels like temperatures up in the mountains. So again, lingering kind of blowing snow, some leftover flurries with the extra lift up in the higher elevations expected for tomorrow, but we'll see a little more sunshine, drier for Monday, Tuesday, some cloud cover around. Then the next system rolls in for Wednesday, some scattered snow possible in the mountains. And if you've seen this on your apps and even the Pinpoint Weather app talking about that chance and maybe a rain or snow mix, don't get too worried. It's not going to be a huge system, nothing like what we're experiencing out there, what we experienced last weekend, but let's check it out. So we start the timeline with late Tuesday. We fast forward, mostly just going to be some scattered rain showers, some snow, yes, possible again, some additional snow for you all in the mountains, and we could get a little bit of a mix, maybe late Tuesday, early Wednesday, but for the most part, just again, some scattered rain showers expected with those slightly warmer temperatures that are in the forecast here over the next 7 days and going into next week. So we are not going to be quite as cold as we have been here over the past few days, with temperatures coming back up into the 40s. And you'll see that on the 7-day forecast. Yes, we're saying 40s is definitely a little bit warmer than here lately, but tomorrow only 32. About 9 for a low on Monday morning, but this is the little bit of melting I was talking about. 39 degrees on Monday. We're back in the 40s Tuesday afternoon. Still cold and even sub-freezing temperatures at night, even later on next week, but highs at least will be creeping back up into the 40s and closer to 50 degrees. We'll take that, guys.
You know, Tara, it's that time of year where 40 starts to actually feel nice outside.
Yes.
It's hard to believe it, and we'll be so thankful whenever we can actually appreciate that after how cold it's going to be these next couple of days.
Yes, it will feel nice.
And Tara, you mentioned there's a chance for school cancellations on Monday, given how this event has shaken out so far.
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, look at these temperatures, so lots of refreezing happening still.
Yeah. Tara, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tara. We want to go back out live to Queen City News anchor Julian Sador, who's live in South Charlotte. Julian, we can see those snowflakes. They're huge.
Jen, we were talking about a little earlier, Corey and I were, and then the last person we had on with us, Calvin, about how big the snowflakes are. You can actually see the designs on them. Look, we don't get this down here in North Carolina. We've been talking about it 20-some years since we've seen snow like this. But here's the thing. I want to play some video because after our live hit, right, I saw this. If you can put the video up, I saw somebody biking in the snow. The video should be up here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's biking in the snow. So he's kind of paying attention. He didn't take his car out on the roadways. He took his bike out, and I said, you know what? I gotta go talk to him. So I got out of our news vehicle. I went running down Providence Road, and I am glad to bring to you James live on TV with us. Explain to me the thought process. Not a car, not your Miata. You brought out your bike.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to. I thought there was. What else to do other than ride your bike, get outside, experience the snow? We don't get it often, so why not?
Okay, so this is really interesting because the last time we had snow like this, you weren't even born yet, or just born, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so take me to the story because your family talks about this.
So yeah, my family talks about this a lot. The story is that it was 72 degrees on my birthday, which was on Monday actually. So middle of the winter, 72 degrees, and then I had to go home a day early because there was a blizzard coming later that week. So
there you go. So he's 21 now, fresh to 21. Happy belated. Also, just found out you're going to be an uncle today, too. You want to shout out your sister?
Yeah, thanks, Kate and Ethan. Y'all are awesome for telling me that this morning, so we can't complain.
Pretty good day for you. Okay, so we did this with Calvin. Let's go ahead and look at the haul. I think Sam's Mart's the probably only place open. So you had to get the essentials. This is what was worth biking down in the snow. What'd you get?
I got some Takis, of course.
Okay.
And, 3 flavors of Arizona.
3 flavors?
Yeah. Watermelon, mango, and then green tea.
What's the best one?
Probably green tea.
Green tea, I would agree with that. Okay, so what are your plans for the rest of the night? Are you staying in? You got your essentials, you got your Takis, you got your 3 Arizonas. Are you going to hunker down?
Yeah, we bet a dime on some UFC fights tonight, so we're going to watch those.
Oh, okay. Staying inside, watching the fights. That is a good plan. Stay off the roadways if possible. Okay. So, James, I'm going to ask you, would you mind? I'm gonna let you go. Be safe. I'm going to make sure that the way is clear for you. Do you feel comfortable biking on TV?
We're good.
Okay.
Have a good one. Stay warm.
All right, we're going to get a shot of James doing this because, again, this is just so bizarre. He's actually pretty good at it. Here he goes, and somehow, some way, yeah, you can't drive too well, but he has found a way to bike. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at that. James, you stay safe out there, brother. So that is what we're dealing with out here. Pretty good conditions, I guess, if you're going to take your bike out. Again, I hope he's safe. Jen and Matt, you guys have been asking people about how much snow has come down. So I'm going to bring out the handy dandy, the trusted measuring stick here to see how much we have. Hold on, I'm going to stick the microphone underneath my arm so I can get a better grip of this. Here we go. All right, let's see. Oh, it's a lot harder to do with gloves on. Okay, let's go ahead and see how much snow we have. 7 inches. 7 inches, or as the kids would say, 6, 7. That's what we're dealing with on the side roads here. So about 7 inches of snow where we are. Again, we're on the intersection of Providence and Sardis. We have seen fewer and fewer cars out here, which is good news because not safe to be out here. But if you look over here where they're coming to, it's a Sam's Mart because the fresh market is closed, the Harris Teeter is closed. So the only place that you can get your rations if you didn't stock up on the milk and the bread to make your milk bread sandwich is a Sam's Mart. So we've seen people brave the conditions to try to come out here, but again, a lot less than what we were seeing earlier, and that is good. Now, here's the thing, right? Earlier, if you've been watching for a while, Matt and Jen, I know you remember this, we ran into some people and they had a cardboard box that they named the Shredder, and they were taking it down a hill. So after they left, they said, take the Shredder out for a spin. So my wife and I, we said, you know what, why not? Here's some video of us taking the Shredder out on the hill, shredding the gnar, as the kids say. It was interesting. It's not as good as the sled, but I was impressed by the speeds that we got as you're watching us go down there. Hopefully the video is playing all right for you guys.
Actually, we've got a bit of a technical difficulty. Julian, we're playing some video from Concord, but we are imagining. We're imagining that video. This is him sledding.
Okay. Oh wait, we're being corrected. This is you sledding. It seems kind of fast though.
Okay.
How fast are you guys going?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. This is a car.
I don't know. I mean, look. Matt was talking about the Winter Olympics. I feel like we were on the bobsled team going down the hill there. Now on the way back up, my wife was losing traction there, so I had to try to help her. She slipped at least 5-6 times, but we made it up. That is how, as people are honking at each other right over here, because, yeah, I mean, go figure, it's hard to drive out here. But that is good couples bonding, okay? Is working your way up an icy hill together in harmony. These are the tough times in marriage that you have to go through to bond together and make it through winter storms like this. But again, that was earlier. It was fun to be outside. Now, as the sun has gone down, the snow is getting bigger. The snowflakes, again, 7 inches of snow, ice underneath. It's getting a little more dangerous. But yeah, there's been some fun. And guys, people biking in the snow. Who would have thunk it?
Julian, I thought you were going to say your wife fell 6-7 times. 6-7.
Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks.
You missed the prime opportunity. I'm just letting you know.
So, Julian, we did not get to see that fantastic video. We'll make sure that we get it in later tonight, but we are looking forward to seeing it. All it took was a snowstorm, and now, look at you. Stellar athlete, right?
You know, we try, Matt. I'm still trying to keep up with you and the ice skating that you did last weekend in the ice. I figured, okay, I'm going to leave the ice skating to Matt Snell, but the bobsled team, hey.
I'm telling you.
You might have a new member.
We've got a team of winter athletes here at Queen City News. Julian, I just want to mention, I'm looking at your jacket there, and it looks like the accumulating snow is starting to ice up on your jacket, especially on the back of it. You can't see it, but we could when you were talking to the young man on the bike, and that tells us right there what's happening.
That's a great point. And actually, I'm looking at Corey's shoulder right now, our photojournalist. He's got a thing of ice on his shoulder. And, you know what? I'm going to swing it around a little bit. Corey, if you can show again, we showed this last time here. And I know we don't have a great light on it, but to Matt's point, again, you have that fluffy stuff, but then, yeah, we got ice here underneath. That kind of gives you an idea of what's happening here. It is getting cold, even with the gloves, even with the snow boots on. Toes are cold, fingers are cold, nose is cold. It is that bone-chilling cold that we're entering into right now. Now the wind has kind of settled down a little bit, which is good. But before, when the wind was picking up, it's really cutting through. I've got I think 1, 2, 4 layers on, and it's cutting through 4 layers, and the base layer is some Under Armour cold gear. So if it's cutting through the cold gear and 3 other layers, that gives you an idea of just how cold it is and why we're telling people, if you can stay inside with the heat on, why would you ever go out?
Exactly.
Julian, thank you so much for braving the elements out there, and try to get in the car. You and Corey need to warm up, please.
We will do that.
We will.
Right
we will.
on it.
Got it.
Right on it. Julian Sador live in South Charlotte for us near Providence and Sardis. Let's get back to that video that we were showing to you earlier from Concord. That snow that was piling up. I mean, this is in downtown Concord there in Cabarrus County. Look at that side.
You saw that car go by. We have the snowplow that may be just a private one that can get parking lots, hopefully, because that's going to be one of the things we're dealing with. You see the people walking outside. Fortunately, they're bundled up. I know I had to have my hood up and over and protecting, because it is, that wind will rip right through you for sure.
You know, a lot of businesses, have decided to go ahead and shut down, but they probably started the day open, right there. Yeah, and some have remained open throughout the day, wanting to give folks a place to, just some respite, some reprieve from the cold out there. Let's see, those ladies who are enjoying some wine or, nice drink there in downtown Concord. But, that's been the story for a lot of today of, people just trying to get where they can.
And it's been the story for the last week. I'm thinking about back on Monday. We were in uptown Charlotte, and all the businesses that were nearby were closed, like to the point that we needed to find a place to use the restroom because we were doing so many live shots. We needed a quick break, and it was almost impossible to find something open. So I understand it's a tough decision for businesses and schools, of course, this last week to have to make those decisions.
Well, of course, the children and the kids out there enjoy that part of it, at least.
Yeah, and snow days aren't the same as they were when at least we were growing up. I think about, we were looking forward to, are we going to go to school today? And now they have to go and do the online learning day. It's not the same kind of snow day.
And speaking of kids, there is someone on our Queen City News team that had some very happy children at home, and that is Queen City News anchor Alicia Barnes, who's live for us down in South Carolina. She is in South Carolina, and she has an update on the conditions there. Alicia.
Well, we're here in Fort Mill, Walter Elijah Park. You can be able to see behind me, so many people are here enjoying the elements. I'm joined by 2 of my favorite people. We just met 10 minutes ago, but I just love the fact that you guys have this warm energy with it being so cold out here.
To stay warm.
I know. How long have you been out here?
Probably, like 45 minutes?
45 minutes to an hour, yeah. It's been great.
And you see this, what we're hearing behind us, these ATVs going by.
They've all been out all afternoon.
Just kind of give me some words of what you've seen out here, what you've experienced.
Roads are definitely slick, slippery. We've got 4-wheel drive, and we were slow and low, but there's a lot of people out, a lot of kids having fun. We took our kids because we know this is probably for them a once-in-a-lifetime storm.
And this is a really safe place to be able to come. And when I came to Walter Elijah Park, and you can see almost 100 people out here right now, but this has kind of been like all day long, a safe place to be able to come. You can see people sledding. Your thoughts?
I love it. I love all the joy that everyone's having. Everyone is laughing and giggling and having a fun time. That's what is the best part about these snowstorms.
And you said you brought your kids out here. How old are your kids?
9 and 11.
Oh, good. 9-11.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I have a 6- and 7-year-old, so I hear it all day long. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So when you saw and they came out here, what did they love? Were they sliding? Were they sledding? Were they?
It's everything. This morning at 7:30, our daughter ran out and made a snowball, brought it inside, and said, "Can you watch this for me?" And I said, "Honey, this is gonna melt." But they're beyond excited. Like this is the greatest. This is gonna be the greatest 24 hours of their life.
And Jason, when you got out here, what was your first thought?
My first thought, stay warm. Stay warm and dry and warm, and that's what my goal is today.
All right, so many kids out here. I'm going to, they say, when in Rome, be like the Romans. I'm going to actually slide down this hill right here with your help. So as I drop the microphone, I'm going to say we're reporting here in Fort Mill. This is what you're seeing at Walter Elijah Park, and let me go get in where I fit in. Here we go. All right, guys. All right. You want to slide this out? You want to slide together? You better, Jason? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Wow. Put my feet in. This is going by trust. Here we go.
Here we go. There we go. Let's go.
That's the best kid ever.
Let's go, Alicia. Look at her get that full 360 spin and then some.
Right on.
She stuck the landing.
Didn't fall off. Alicia Barnes, that is impressive.
Talk
Wow.
about the queen, right? She will do anything. We absolutely love it. We wanted to give you a look now at Florence, South Carolina, where you can see the wind is taking the snow. I have to say, I think the animals, for the most part, are at least appreciating it. I know Tara said maybe her dog didn't like the cold, but
You know, out in 45 in Providence, where I live, the dogs that I saw out there, especially the small ones, which are probably more the younger ones, they loved it. They were having a ball out there. Their first question is probably, what is this? Second question is, can I jump in it? And third, can we stay out here forever? And, good for them. Right?
they're not used to it. So this is just a different experience for them outside.
A lot of people here in the Carolinas not used to what we've
Correct.
been seeing today. This has been a history-making event here in the Charlotte area. You're getting a live look across the city right there. 18-wheeler taking it slow, as he should be, or as they should be.
Yep, right there on I-85. We're still seeing vehicles out there, but we really hope that if you're on the road, it's only because you have to be on the road to get to work.
Another look at uptown Charlotte.
Our Arlington camera, it's getting difficult to see, but at least we have the lights of the buildings that are helping us kind of see some things.
Yeah, you can play a
outdoors.
game on, which
one
building is which, right? Yeah, exactly. Hope folks there are staying warm. And there's a look at Independence Boulevard. We've been keeping our eye on this camera for most of the broadcast, Jen.
It's changing a lot.
It has changed, and nightfall has come upon us, and we've gone from that blue on the camera to much
Orange,
darker out
a
there.
little orange, a little yellow there we're seeing. So.
You're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining us on Queen City News for this breaking weather coverage. We've been here all day. I'm Jen Cardone.
And I'm Matt Still. We've got a long night in store here in the Queen City and across the Carolinas as this snow event is far from over. Let's get back over to Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane, who is in the Pinpoint Weather Center. Tara, this is the most snow that we've seen since 2004. We didn't even have iPhones back then.
Exactly. I know. I mean, it has been a long time. And I was thinking about this, I mean, all week long when we were talking about several inches of snow that was likely in the forecast, heavy at times, it was just so hard, I feel like, for so many of us to imagine just what that could look like because it has been so long. I mean, just last year we were talking about breaking the snow drought when we had about 1/10 of an inch of snow, and so many people were excited about that. So I think a lot of you were probably saying, I'll believe it when I see it. And sure enough, we are seeing it here today as we are still tracking some of those scattered areas of snow rotating on through, some heavier bands from time to time. It has been lightening up for a good part of our area. I want to zoom out and show you some of the deeper shades of kind of this blue and purple color. And that's where we still have the heavier bouts of snow coming in. Look at that, creeping up closer to Raleigh right now after a bit of a dry slot kind of worked in around the Sandhills, Fayetteville zone and I-95 corridor there, but now we've got more snow creeping in from the east and still coming down pretty good there down east and up and down, say, Highway 74 in between Rockingham and up toward Greensboro. That's lifting north through the Triad, so still piling up pretty good. But we're kind of getting in on the lighter side here, mountains and foothills. We still have a little bit more of a moderate to heavy band down there near just the east of Greenville and Spartanburg, South Carolina, and still some heavier bands of snow lifting in a little bit from the south. Now back over parts of Lancaster and Chesterfield County too. So all of this moisture coming in around that area of low pressure and that coastal low that we've been talking about. Here's a look, a sampling at some of these snow reports so far. I keep looking at some of the storm spotters and some of the reports coming in and trying to update these numbers as fast as possible. But Faith, look at this. Look at all the 1 foot totals and reports coming in here. Faith, Huntersville, Salisbury, close to 1 foot of snow. Center City, Charlotte, about 8 inches, but could be a little more by now as the snow continues to fall. Valdez and Burke County picking up about 6 to 7 inches. Harrisburg, more than 1 foot in that part of Cabarrus and right on the edge there of Mecklenburg County. Vail picking up about 9 inches of snow. Denver and heading into Lincoln County, 8 to 9 inches there. Stanley getting into Gaston County now. Parts of that county picking up about 8 to 10 inches of snow. Mooresville also just over 8 inches of snowy accumulation. And we've been looking at these live pictures. I mean, the roads are just treacherous out there, and just advised to, as we've been saying all day long, we were saying this all week, today would be one of those days where you just need to hunker down and stay home unless you absolutely have to head out to work or go somewhere. You can see a couple of cars driving along, the plows, the road crews are out there doing their job, but then with the snow still falling, those tracks get covered up pretty quickly that get plowed through from time to time. Visibility is also an issue here today, just creating your whiteout conditions. We've got the snow blowing around with the gusty wind. Visibility is a little better right now, still showing up a little lower in that part of Rowan County, just the west of Salisbury, west of that stretch of I-85, but still a lot of orange indicating visibility down to about a half a mile or less, especially from Charlotte south and east. Wind gusts anywhere from 20 to even close to 35 miles per hour at times, and you know that makes it feel even colder. We're going to get gusts even around 50 miles per hour through the night, early tomorrow up there in the mountains, and so that's why the National Weather Service earlier today issued that wind advisory from Ashe County, Watauga, Avery County down through the mountains of Burke and Caldwell counties through tomorrow morning. It's already cold enough. It's the single digits up there for actual temperatures here in the 6 o'clock hour. 6 degrees in Boone, 7 in Jefferson, holding on to the teens to around 20 degrees everywhere else, but with any sort of breeze, it's just that biting cold. It feels like 7 in Charlotte and Concord. Feels like 6 degrees in Albemarle, feels still like the low and mid-teens around the foothills down into parts of South Carolina, and as cold as 10 to 15 degrees below zero up in the mountains. Now, if you're wondering how much longer is this going to last, snow chances gradually decreasing as we head through the rest of the evening, especially once we get closer to midnight and beyond, all the way down to zero while we're sleeping tonight, waking up to no snow actually falling. Exception is up in the mountains. We could still have some some light snow, blowing snow, and flurries flying around there in the higher elevations. But you can see how the back edge of this widespread kind of shield of snow will be showing up by midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and starts to push on off to the east with time and clearing that Highway 74 corridor. By 1, 2, 3 o'clock or so in the morning. We'll see lots of sunshine for the second half of the weekend tomorrow. But here's the thing, we're going to have very little melting, if any at all, taking place tomorrow because temperatures will be staying freezing pretty much all day. High temperature only around maybe 32 degrees tomorrow. So even with the snow tapering off, that snow is going to stick around for quite some time. We'll get a little more melting Monday afternoon as highs creep up close to 40 degrees, but then refreezing happening again. We were talking about this so much just this past week after the ice that we had last weekend and creating some of those school closures and delays still. So we're going to be looking at that same type of situation coming up, unfortunately, next week. And the extreme cold, another big part of the weather story through tonight and tomorrow morning. Extreme cold warning continues through early tomorrow. So you just want to use common sense, limit time outdoors. Hypothermia, frostbite can occur in minutes, 15 to 30 minutes if you don't cover up exposed skin, if you do have to be outside for a long period of time. Forecast wind chills as cold as 20 to 25 below zero up in the high country, well below zero. Wind chills expected across the foothills in the Piedmont too. So mountain forecast Sunday for you all, just a little bit of still snow blowing around with a gusty wind, maybe some flurries. Monday, it's back to some drier conditions, a little bit of sunshine peeking through before Tuesday. The sky clouds up again ahead of yet another area of low pressure and front that will give us a chance of scattered showers, some additional mountain snow on Wednesday. We could have a little bit of snow, maybe trying to mix in down the mountain and across the Charlotte area Wednesday. Don't worry though, it's not going to be anything like what we've seen here these past couple of weeks, and of course especially today. Mostly just some scattered rain showers. Notice temperatures staying cold tomorrow, 32 degrees for a high, if that. It's going to be really tough to warm up with all that snowpack on the ground. But we're back to 9 for Monday morning, 39 degrees on Monday, and then 40s. That is going to feel warm, isn't it? 40s for highs starting Tuesday and then heading into next weekend too, guys.
Cold will remain, Tara.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And of course, we have coverage all across the Charlotte area as we see more of this winter weather and this snowstorm heading into tomorrow.
And some areas are seeing a little bit more on the heavy side of the amounts of snow that we're getting. We want to send things out to Queen City News reporter Shakira Speaks, who's in Concord, with a look at how things are looking out there now. Shakira, what are you seeing?
We're not quite in Concord, guys. We're on North Tryon Street near the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want you guys to look back here. I don't know if y'all can see. Marcus, can you get this snowplow right here? This snowplow is finally getting to the North Tryon area, guys. We're at the corner where the QT is, right where that Walmart is and the CVS. There's a snowplow trying to get through, trying to clear the roads up for people. As you can see, people are still on the roads. Oh, I got some friends right here. Hold on, they came back out of the QT. They were walking across the street. Come a little closer, guys. I want to get y'all in the light right here so people can see y'all's nice looking faces. All right, y'all came from across the street. What's your name?
Tico.
Tico?
TJ.
TJ. All right, y'all did not prepare, clearly. Why did y'all decide to come out? How do y'all feel right now?
It's cold, but I'm a country boy.
Okay.
I love this kind of weather.
Yeah?
I was born in March, so I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I ain't seen snow like this since 2002.
Did y'all try to get out and build a snowman, play in it, little snow angel or whatever?
Not me,
No?
but my kids.
Yeah?
I'm not doing
Were they
it.
enjoying it?
Oh, yes, they loved it.
All right, so y'all trucked over here. Y'all told me y'all was gonna come talk to me. What you got in the bag? Something you can show on national TV?
No.
Okay, all right. Something just
for
to, okay, something just to hold you
keep it
over till
professional.
tonight.
Yeah,
What are you guys doing in the morning? Y'all got to work in the morning? Y'all chilling?
No jobs is working in the morning.
Yeah.
Everything is closed.
Okay.
My job should
Yeah.
call off too. This weather, I can't drive to South Park Mall in this.
I was good to get out on feet walking.
Yeah, but that's it. Other than that, y'all finna walk across the street. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all be safe. I don't want to get y'all followed or anything. Y'all be happy. Y'all be safe in the morning. I want to talk to y'all. They said that they weren't trying to get out. They're walking. But look at this car right here. We showed you guys this the last time that we came to y'all. This car was sitting at the corner of the North Tryon Street, right in front of where the QT is. I want y'all to see that CMPD just came and wrapped the car, and it says caution, police tape. And we asked them, hey, why are you guys wrapping the car up? And he says, they've gotten a lot of calls about it. Like I said, somebody got out and walked out. Thankfully, they did just do a welfare check. There's nobody inside the car. Whoever the owner is safe, hopefully. But they just wrapped it just to make sure that people know that they did see the car and hopefully they can move it out of the way. Again, guys, we just saw that one snowplow come through. Some people, a nice big truck is coming through. But then Marcus Kern over here, let me show you guys. Like I said, we're at the QT. There's another snowplow, and they are out and about, guys. I just want you to know they are out trying to clear up the roads. They had to get gas themselves. So the best thing that you guys can do is to just watch us on Queen City News live right now, telling you guys to stay out, go out and enjoy it. This is how fluffy it is.
The snow was still coming down during her live shot. It's not like this has stopped, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. We still have several more hours of this, and if it keeps falling like that, there's only so much that they can do. Even if we weren't here in the Carolinas and other parts of the world where I grew up in Ohio and Pennsylvania. I remember one time specifically I had to drive when I moved away from Indiana back to Virginia. And my dad and I drove through a blizzard, and even on the Ohio Turnpike, they could not keep up with it. So it can be very difficult when you are by a snowplow. You're very thankful that you have a little bit more of an opportunity to gain some
What's
traction.
that old saying? It's like you're trying to mop in the rain. It's
just,
there's no point at this point. Let's get down to South Carolina and Fort Mill, where Queen City News anchor Alicia Barnes is live for us, if I'm told correctly. Alicia?
A lot going on here. So we're off of Fort Mill Parkway right now. Just behind me, you can be able to see a town of Fort Mill fire truck coming in here. Not really quite sure what they are addressing, but they just arrived. So we're trying to be able to see exactly what's going on, but there's a lot that's happened since I've seen you last. So we've traveled from Indian Land, now we're in Fort Mill. Again, this is Fort Mill Parkway behind me. Dobie's Bridge is going this way. And I was here earlier today where we saw the ATVs, probably about 4 or 5 hours ago. Look at how much snow has accumulated just right here in this area. You can be able to see the bushes behind me as to how high that snow is going. I'm gonna let this fire truck go behind me. Come on, we're live, there we go. We'll see what they are responding to. We'll get the story. They might just be filling up with gas, possibly, but we'll find out. But as you come back out here and you're able to see the elements, one of the big concerns, guys, that we are seeing is people walking on the street, and they don't have reflectors on, they don't have lights on. We have even gotten a situation where it's very hard to be able to see people walking along as cars are going by. We have some video that we sent in to Queen City News for you to be able to see coming up. We'll hopefully get that video for you. But it's just disturbing because we saw 3 or 4 different times of people walking just in the middle of the street and barely almost getting hit by cars. And also we've witnessed several the aftermath of several accidents of people going in the ditch, whether they're hitting trees or sliding off the road. So the roads are very, very, very concerning out here. Also, just the elements that you can be able to see behind me. I know it's not really well lit, but you can see there's still cars at this hour. And that's really what officials are saying. I spoke to people here in the Fort Mill area, letting people know to stay off the roads. They're doing their best to be able to clear the roads, but Springfield Parkway is a very, very busy road, and it is not clear at this point. There's a lot of people, a lot of activity on that road, and for it to look the way it does at this hour, you really, really, really want to just stay at home. But hopefully we're able to get that video for you later on coming up. But Matt and Jen, as I send it back to you into the studio, the changes that have happened just in the last hour as it now is dark, very concerning out here in the Fort Mill area.
And the changes keep happening, you know, even when we look at some of our live tower cams and over some of the areas that we typically can see, it's just changing by the minute. Alicia, I was thinking of one thing I saw this afternoon. I don't know how windy it is by you, but I saw people walking around with umbrellas. Have you seen anything like that? And would it even help?
I haven't seen anything like that, but let me just stop you real quick, Jen, not to interrupt you. We're live on TV. Can somebody talk to us from the fire department? Just real quick, just to get a response as to what you're seeing. We're live. If you want to come over and talk to us real quick as to what you're seeing. We can't. Okay, so they're telling this, they can't tell us. They're just filling up with gas. So that's what the situation is. Are you able to give us any kind of comment?
I am not.
Okay, just even what you're seeing here in the Fort Mill area? Okay, that's all right. So we can't have a comment from them. Just wanted to be able to try that. Jen, I didn't mean to cut you off. Ask me that question again.
It's okay. I was wondering, you know, how windy it might be out there, if you've seen anyone try to use an umbrella to stay covered from some of the snow that's coming down, or if it's even possible.
We haven't seen anybody with an umbrella, but I'm going to tell you, we're also going to show you video later on of our drive from Indian Land into Fort Mill, and it is disturbing because of the way the snow is falling. The other big thing is we found a woman in a parking lot. Jen, you can remember that last live shot where the parking lot was just covered with snow. She was driving through the parking lot and she didn't realize that she was driving over a curb and her car got stuck. So the concern is you don't know what's underneath this snow when you're driving. And even for us, when we were coming here, when you have medians in the road, it's hard, you can't visibly see that. So you got to just be careful out there. And as we've been saying all hour, all day, stay at home.
Yeah, Alicia, you mentioned something about you saw someone walking in the street and you weren't sure if cars could actually see that person. This is a visibility issue now because the sun has set, especially where you are in Fort Mill. That can be very dangerous.
Matt, dangerous is an understatement. There was one point when Brian was driving that he said, look, there's somebody in the road, and I couldn't even see that person. He had to point out where the person was walking for me to be able to see. And I'm like, how concerning is that? Because for the drivers who are on the road, when somebody's walking in the middle of the road, you can't see them. I mean, that's just, an accident waiting to happen.
It's very scary. I know I've been in the car with Brian before. He has very good eyes. He can see things that most of us can't see. But
Military
not,
background. Yeah.
Yes, not all of us have Brian's eyes. So very fortunate that he's driving you around and he's able to see some of that. What else do you have?
Yeah,
for
Alicia,
her?
thank you very much.
I can also tell you this, Matt and Jen, the precipitation that's falling right now, it is a lot lighter. So it just got stuck in my throat there. As we've taken you through the last like 2 or 3 hours, remember when it was coming down hard, it was beating across my face, and then it was a little bit, I guess, less abrasive. Now it's almost very light as it's coming down. That's just here in the Fort Mill area, so I'm sure that can be able to change, but something just to be able to notice. But the biggest thing that when I first got here to where we are, we're at a 7-Eleven on Fort Mill Parkway, the fact that I was just here 3 or 4 hours ago, it looks vastly different with the amount of snow that has just fallen down in the area.
Just how quick it can accumulate. That's it right there.
Maybe some light at the end of the tunnel with the snow starting to lighten up slightly. Hopefully that will be happening. Alicia, we really appreciate you.
Before we let Alicia go, can we just tell you this, Alicia? We enjoyed your sledding. I mean, we got a kick out of that.
You know what?
And you stuck the landing.
I'm going to tell you this, okay? I have received 12 text messages, so I knew that you had aired it because I've gotten moms from my kids' schools saying, great job sledding. I'm like, they must have aired the video. Yes, I tried to do a Vogue pose at the end just to be able to keep it, give me on my street cred, on my sledding activity. I was trying to be able to be that girl, yes.
And we loved every bit of it. Alicia Barnes live for us in Fort Mill. Alicia, thank you very much. You and Brian try to get warm as quickly as you can.
We'll see you soon, and we'll have that video for you too.
Yes.
Thank you,
very much,
Alicia. It's certainly been very, very busy out there. And you can see even from Alicia's live shot how different it is in the different parts of the viewing area.
Yeah.
I know that it didn't look like the snow was coming up as far on her foot as what we saw with Shakira, who is in a complete other direction of our viewing area, showing us that.
I mean, we've got folks, literally in all 4 corners of our viewing area. We've got Andrew, who we'll talk to in a bit, here outside our station, Northwest Charlotte. We've got Alicia Barnes in Fort Mill, South Carolina. We've got Julian Sador, who was live for us in South Charlotte near Providence and Sardis. And then you just mentioned we had Shakira in Concord, or in the Concord area. So we're trying to paint this picture for you as best as we can, showing you the most up-to-date and current conditions out there. And that story is now changing because the sun has now set, especially on the roads. That can become a very dangerous situation.
Yes, this is a historic snowfall, and I can tell you from the times that I went out and did some of those live shots for our QCN Plus, just walking out to my car to get something and then going back inside, my footprints were gone after
Just
maybe like 45 minutes. It was happening so fast. And I know that Tara had mentioned about 12 inches of snow in Huntersville, and I would absolutely believe that. I think it was almost at 10 before I even left my house to come here this afternoon. So it could be even more just with how fast it continued to fall down, and it fills in those gaps. And I think even Alicia was able to show that with the parking lot, with the tracks just disappearing so quickly.
And she mentioned something too about when you're pulling into parking lots and when you're on these city streets, you possibly can't see the median. I ran into that issue trying to get here to our station here in Northwest Charlotte. When I pulled into the station, I could not see one of our curbs here in the station. I was pulling in, and my car, the front of my car, got stuck on top of one of those curbs. Thankfully, I could, my car is all-wheel drive, I could push reverse out of it, but
not everyone
can do that, and you just can't see that curb there because the accumulating snow. That has also been an issue for me personally, but a lot of people out there tonight.
And making my drive in, I don't know if I've talked about this here, but I did whenever I was on our QCN Plus. Going from I-77 to 485, that on-ramp, if you were going toward Matthews, I hadn't seen any car tracks whatsoever. So whoever was going to be doing that would be the first person to be doing it. And that's a bridge, that's an overpass. So you have to think about the potential of it being slippery. I remember getting on 485 and I wondered, am I even on the road at this point? Because your depth of field, your perception of where you're driving, it's all messed up. And now that it's dark out, it's just going to be that much more difficult to see.
You got that right. Either way, we've got you covered here on Queen City News. We're going to take a very quick break, and here is one last check of some of the conditions across our beautiful city. That's Independence Boulevard.
Yep.
We've been keeping an eye out on this camera throughout the night. We're seeing a few more cars than we did a few minutes ago, and that's right outside our station here on I-85.
Yep, and you're still seeing people move around, but very, very slowly, fortunately. Our Arlington camera here, where you can see maybe a little bit more of an outline of the buildings.
Yeah.
I don't think my eyes are messing with me on
We've
that
been playing
one.
that game, and there is Monroe right there in downtown. A couple of cars braving the cold, braving the conditions there in Union County. You're watching Queen City News, the most local and the most honored news in Charlotte.
We do have a major traffic backup we want to tell you about over in Kannapolis. The North Carolina State Highway Patrol says there was a crash involving a car and a semi around 4:30 this afternoon. There was only one lane open at the time due to snow. They say now about 100 cars, including 30 semis, are stranded out there at the moment. There is the National Guard and towing companies working to clear up this situation, but this is expected to keep traffic backed up for hours. So please, if you have to be out on the road, first of all, you need to avoid that area and just take it slow. It is very dangerous out there.
Once again, I-85 in Kannapolis. If you live in that area and we're making plans to head to the Charlotte area anytime soon. Seems like you won't be doing that if you're needing to get on I-85. Definitely thinking of those drivers stuck out there on 85 right now, and hopefully they get that situation cleaned up. And Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane is back with us in the Pinpoint Weather Center. Tara, that's something that we've been concerned about all night with these conditions. Now, night upon us.
Right, I know, because now we think of everyone stranded out there and it's so cold. I mean, we're talking about a dangerous level of cold outside. We've got temperatures that have been hovering in the teens to only near 20 degrees pretty much all day long, but we've got the wind out there too, making for those chills. Those wind chills feels like temperatures in the single digits and teens so far below zero up in the mountains, and all of us will feel those sub-zero wind chills through tomorrow morning. Oftentimes this is just kind of a mountain thing that we talk about with those sub-zero chills, but we're going to be feeling those everywhere, which is why we have that, kind of rare extreme cold warning in place area wide. And as far as the snow goes, we're still seeing it falling here, but lightening up a lot more compared to earlier, especially northern parts of Mecklenburg County, up into the mountains and foothills, parts of Stanley County too, but it's still coming down pretty good. You can see that wider blob of blue showing up there, indicating anticipating the snow heading down 77 into Rock Hill, Lancaster, South Carolina, western parts of Union County. So we've still got some heavier bands working in now back over and into southern Mecklenburg County, parts of South Charlotte, out toward Indian Land, where we're reporting about 5-6+ inches of snow out that way. So updating those totals here as we continue to get them in from the storm spotters out there. Heavy snow, steady snow at times continues, where you see the darker shades of blue and that purple color on the map showing up around the Triad, moving through parts of Richmond County, Chesterfield County. We've still had that dry slot kind of working in around the Raleigh area. A lot of people there just waiting to see some of the snow. It looks like some of this is now starting to push in from the south and east over parts of Wake County, but still coming down pretty good down east and over the coastal plain and heading on up into Richmond and the Virginia Beach area. More snow continues. So look at this. We officially have several reports of 1 foot at least of snow in places like Faith and Huntersville, northern Mecklenburg County, Salisbury, close to that number, if not already, if we get an updated report from there. Center City, Charlotte, picking up about 8 inches of snow at last check. Taylorsville, my friends in Alexander County, picking up about 7 inches. Harrisburg, over 1 foot of snow in that part of western Cabarrus and heading into eastern Mecklenburg County there, that zone. Vale reporting about 9 inches of snow, about 8 to 9 inches in Denver. Stanley, about 10 inches of snow. Mooresville also picking up just over 8 inches. And another live look here, Independence Boulevard, East Charlotte area. Not too many cars out there, thankfully, and you can see how a lot of those, that snow is just kind of packed into the ground, and even with the plows clearing through it, even though the snow has been lightening up, it's still lightly piling back on some of those more cleared tracks out there. So it's going to remain slick, obviously, through the night, and even very little melting taking place, not until maybe Monday afternoon could we start to see some of that. Reduced visibility, a little less red showing up, so the visibility conditions are improving for those people and the truck drivers that do have to drive out there on the roads compared to earlier when we had those heavier rounds coming in, but still with the wind picking up, gusting around 25, 30 plus miles per hour, especially up in the mountains. It's just that blowing snow that makes for whiteout conditions at times. Now, speaking of the wind advisory in effect for the mountain communities down all the way through the mountains, Burke, Caldwell counties. We're calling for about 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts through tomorrow morning. So that's going to stretch into about 4 p.m. actually tomorrow, so lasting into the afternoon, making it feel even colder than those single-digit actual air temperatures up in the mountains right now. Feels like only 5 or 6 degrees in Watauga and Ashe County, Avery County. It's no different. And we've been feeling this all day. Temperatures only hovering around that 20-degree mark across the Piedmont and the foothills. But with any sort of breeze, any sort of wind, it feels like it's in the single digits. Albemarle, Wadesboro, it feels like only 9 degrees outside and feels like 10 to 15 below zero up in the mountains. Now, big question that I know a lot of you are wondering, how much longer are the snow chances going to be sticking around? Well, later we get into the evening, the lower the chances get. So closer we get to midnight, and especially past midnight, the back edge of this widespread kind of shield of snowfall here will be starting to clear the area. And you can see evidence of that showing up on future radar too through about 11 o'clock this evening. There's the back edge. It's going to be clearing Mecklenburg County eventually. Still some lingering, maybe lighter, occasionally moderate snow could still be flying around areas east along Highway 74, but it's all pretty much over and done with by the time you wake up and head out the door early tomorrow morning around sunrise and beyond. And what a different looking picture it's going to be outside in terms of how it looks in the sky. Back to some Carolina blue and sunshine. Now the mountains, the clouds will hang on a little bit longer. We're still going to be dealing with blowing snow and maybe some lingering flurries for a little bit longer here, but that accumulation tapering off certainly after later on this evening. But Sunday, tomorrow, despite the fact that we'll see sunshine, all that snowpack on the ground keeps those temperatures on the colder side. And so we're going to stay below freezing pretty much all day long. We'll have some melting taking place Monday afternoon with temps getting closer to 40, but then refreezing happening by Monday night, early Tuesday. So more school delays and cancellations. We're still going to be talking about that obviously throughout the week with that snow on the ground. Extreme cold warning continues through tomorrow morning. So just use common sense and you want to limit that time outdoors. I know a lot of you already doing that. Hypothermia and frostbite can occur in minutes if you don't take those precautions to cover up exposed skin if you do have to go outside. Here's a look at how cold it could feel. This is for tomorrow morning. Those feels like temperatures well below zero, especially up in the mountains, 20 to 25 degrees, sub-zero wind chills. The mountain forecast, you all living there in the higher elevations, look at this, a low of 1. Tomorrow morning, 14 in the afternoon. We stay below freezing for another day on Monday before finally Tuesday afternoon we climb out of the frozen zone a little bit, but only briefly. It's going to get a little bit colder again on Wednesday with this next front and low pressure heading in. That could spawn maybe some additional snow showers. I know maybe if you've been looking at some of your weather apps calling for that chance of maybe a little more of a rain-snow mix by the middle of next week on Wednesday. Could see a touch of that, but it's not going to be anything debilitating and nothing like what we're seeing today or even last weekend. There could be a touch of snow, but for the most part, it's looking like scattered rain showers coming in for Wednesday. But temperatures finally warming up. We're calling 40s warmer, but they certainly are after this cold here that we've been feeling lately. 44 degrees on Tuesday. We'll still have some freezing temperatures, though, to deal with at night, right on through the end of the week and even heading into next weekend. But 40s, that's going to feel a lot better, guys, later on next week.
It's just hard to believe. Now, looking ahead to Wednesday, I feel like we're maybe getting used to it. I don't know if I want to say that quite yet, but it's like riding a bike again. I don't know. That's how I felt cleaning off my car for the 3rd time trying to get here this afternoon. So
yeah, I know. We'll be looking forward to a little more sunshine and the warmer temps next week.
When you pray for 40s, perspective, right?
Perspective.
That's what the cold will do to you, Tara, at this point.
Right.
So we'll take any warm up where we can. So, Tara, thank you.
Now I think it's just been one of those days where we're just watching to see what happens, and hopefully the snow will go away shortly. We want to send things back out to meteorologist Andrew Brightman. It's been a while since we've checked in with him. Andrew is certainly much darker compared to last time we spoke with you.
And look
what
at
are
his
you?
head, too.
Yeah, he has a hat now. Thank goodness. I was getting worried about your ears.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, I do like having my flow out and showing off my locks, but I was getting a little cold out here to keep doing that. Well, it's been an interesting past hour or so. We wanted to come back and talk to you guys maybe about 30 or so minutes earlier. What happened was we got 2 great gentlemen here. They're Justin and Tyler. They are plowing our parking lot right now. So I got great news for you, Jen and Matt. We're going to be able to get out of here. Unfortunately, you know, no fault of their own. They're just doing their job. They accidentally sort of pulled our power cord out here. So for about the past 10 to 15 minutes, my photographer and I, we were kind of jumping in the bushes and getting to experience all 9-10 inches of snow to find that power outlet. So we're back here with you guys talking about the conditions. It is still coming down. I mean, I wouldn't say it's heavy snow, but there's still a lot of light to moderate snow outside of our Queen CNU studios right now, and it's still very, very dangerous. I still remark at some of the people how fast they're going on 85. You know, you need at least, you know, probably 600-700 feet of stopping distance, even going just 35 miles an hour in some of these conditions. But people, there's some of these trucks that go by, they think because they're a truck that it'll help. There's nothing in the back. It's very, very light. It'll just slide around there. But people are still going. I've seen some cars that have been going close to 60 miles an hour on the roadway. It's absolutely insane to me personally, but sometimes maybe that all-wheel drive can lull you into a false sense of security. Now, I also was doing a little work here in terms of measurements around the Queen CNU studios. Probably roughly, somewhat of a scientific estimate here, about 9 or 10 inches of snow at our Queen CNU studios. Still coming down, and at the pace here, again, it's not quite as heavy, but it's still visibility here at our Queen CNU studio is still under a mile outside of West Charlotte near Belmont here. It's still coming down. I wouldn't be shocked if we still pick up another inch or maybe inch and a half, 1 to 2 inches by the time it's all said and done. On top of what we have already seen, this has truly been an historic snowstorm. Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane was talking about some of the places, especially as you get up towards Rowan County, Cabarrus County. They've picked up 12 inches and counting. I mean, at this point now, I wouldn't be shocked if the golden shovel winner is going to go to someone who picks up 15 inches of snow, just the way the reports have been going here across the Central Carolinas. The jackpot area this time around was the Piedmont here and around Charlotte. This is going to be some of the highest snow totals that we see. The rip-off zone, unfortunately, for the snow lovers in Raleigh is really Raleigh. Now, they got this, as Tara was talking about, the snow's moving in there now, but they're not going to pick up nearly what was thought possible a little bit earlier on in the week. That's some of the intricacies of forecasting and dealing with a storm like this. So basically, we are kind of, their loss is our gain in a sense of some of the snow that we've seen with this system. But nonetheless, it is very cold. That's why you see my hat on now. And I've been doing some measuring and seeing those at least 9 to 10 inches. Wouldn't be shocked again for close to a foot. I don't think we'll quite get there here at our studio, but definitely flirting with the 12-inch mark outside of Belmont here, a little bit between Belmont and West Charlotte at our Queen City News studios. And we're dealing with the cold temperatures. I mean, before he came to me, I was sort of, playing with my breath here outside. That's how cold it is. It almost feels like you're in a meat locker outside with the temperatures down in the upper teens. You've got the wind chill. It feels like it's 5, but I just look at the beautiful plow in our parking lot removing the snow, and it just warms me from inside. Jen and Matt know we're going to have a much easier time. It's still going to be a treacherous drive, as I've said now for the 3rd or 4th time I've lost count. If you do not have all-wheel drive, you will not get where you're trying to go. We're going to keep emphasizing that. I have an SUV with all-wheel drive. My wife's let me borrow her car, and that's one of the reasons why I'd even attempt driving here and then going home, because with an SUV with all-wheel drive, it makes it much more doable. It's still dangerous to be out on the roadways. There's no two F-ins about it here. It is dangerous to be out on these roadways right now. And if you're on the highway, if you do have to travel, I mean, think about giving yourself I'd say 500 to 600 feet between you and the car in front of you. If something goes wrong, you can't just slam on the brakes like you usually do here on just a normal blacktop highway here. You got to give yourself a little time to slip and slide as well if you got to hit the brakes. So one of the things we've been talking about here, and still see it behind me, people are still following maybe a little bit too close to each other on I-85. Thankfully, we're not seeing a ton of cars. There still is a little bit of traffic, especially northbound right now in 85. Definitely seeing more cars than going southbound currently. Leaving Charlotte and heading into South Carolina, but it's just or into the western part of the state. Just dealing with the incredible the snow, just the fluffiness of it. There's the pure powder nature. You can just blow it off your car. I've been seeing some people actually using a leaf blower to get the snow off of their vehicle, and it will be beautiful tomorrow morning, because by the time you wake up tomorrow, not only will the snow be gone, we'll see the sun come out. You'll just see kind of those ice crystals just glistening early in the morning again. You can tell. I love snow. It's going to look beautiful out there. And then we'll get some compaction. So probably we're around 10, looking basically right now, widespread 8 to 12 inches, probably compact down to 5 by the end of the day tomorrow. But definitely not going anywhere. And it's definitely going to be an interesting dig-out process here across the Central Carolinas. It's something we haven't seen now. We've been talking about it in over 20 years. You've got to go back to 2004, and it's getting to the point where some places might even be surpassing what they saw during that 2004 storm in February here. Definitely, especially as you get north of here towards Huntersville, Cabarrus County, Rowan County, definitely getting close to even some of those totals that they saw back in that true storm of record here back in the end of February of 2004.
We will all be very interested to see what those final measurement totals are. Andrew, you mentioned something I think was very interesting, was that our friends and neighbors in the Triad in the Raleigh area will not be seeing as much snow as we've seen here in the Queen City. It kind of explain that once again. I know they're a bit jealous, I can imagine, but they're not going to see what we're seeing.
The weather nerds, which I am one of them, and I call them the snow geese. They love snow. They love winter weather. Again, this is it can be beautiful to look at, but they really wanted snow. Now, the fascinating thing with this storm is, unlike what we saw last week, where you could see all of this moisture moving on in. You had the storm develop out in Texas. You had all this moisture pushing towards the eastern third of the country. There was no question about the amount of moisture and precipitation moving in. It was just a question of how much cold air, sleet, freezing rain, that jazz that we talked about last week. because that was a storm that developed in the southern branch of the jet stream. But this particular storm, this is what we call an Arctic wave. There was a piece of energy coming down from the Arctic. It's why it's so cold, why it's 18 degrees right now in Charlotte and snowing. We had this Arctic air coming down from northwestern Canada, and as it hit part of the jet stream, and we saw the phasing together in this explosive coastal low. But what happens is it still needs to create, it has to create its own moisture. You didn't see, Thursday and yesterday, this big shield of rain, sleet, and snow moving towards the Carolinas. A lot of the dynamics involved here, a lot of upward motion generating this snow. So you had a big upper level low coming on down, paired up with the coastal low that Tara's been highlighting off the Carolina coast. For us here in the Central Carolinas, the western part of the state, that upper level low, all that upward motion that we saw, that is what has created this snow max here, basically centered almost directly over Charlotte. So we were really aided not so much by the coastal low developing, but by the strong upper level low and the way it was oriented. I won't geek out too much and bore you guys too much, but the way it helped create a lot of upward motion, and these snow bands developing right over Charlotte and sort of pivoting around us as well as it starts to feel the influence of the coastal low. Now, obviously, along the coast, as you get towards Greenville, they're getting crushed with very heavy snow right now. That's obviously the coastal low that's exploding in intensity right now. But between the two, there's a gap, and there's been a lot of dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere near the Raleigh-Durham area, and that's one of the reasons why they haven't seen as much snow. Now, there's the potential where the coastal low would get strong enough, would push maybe more snow into Raleigh. That's why they were still expecting a significant snowstorm there as well until relatively recently. But there was always a concern about maybe, some places it's a boom, like what we see here in Charlotte, and then a bust when it comes to these type of Arctic waves developing. And unfortunately for the snow lovers in Raleigh, that's kind of the bust for them. They're still going to pick up some snow. Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane was talking about still going to pick up maybe 2 to 4 inches this evening, but definitely not maybe the 5 to 10, and some indications even earlier the week, maybe close to 10 to 12, that was possible earlier. So that's just, again, this is a difficult science here. We're trying to... The atmosphere is a fluid that's 19 miles wide, and it goes around the entire Earth. That's a chaotic fluid that we're trying to predict what's going to do next. So that's why sometimes, you hit the atmospheric jackpot if you like this type of thing, or sometimes you get a little bit unlucky, and that's what's going on right now in Raleigh.
Andrew, thank you for explaining the ingredients to this snowstorm casserole. Thank you for that. I really wanted us to touch on that.
And I do have one more quick question for you, because I don't know if we've talked about this yet.
Bring it on in.
So we've been in a drought. We haven't talked too much about that. How does this help us with the drought?
I mean, it helps a little bit. I mean, we'll take what precipitation we can get. It was an abnormally dry fall here across the Carolinas. It's really what put us in the drought conditions. But overall, one thing I kept talking about here is how fluffy the snow is. That means it has less water content than if the temperature was warmer. Let's say if it was 30 degrees and we had, let's just call it 10 inches of snow by the time it's all said and done. So 10 inches of snow, if it's 30 degrees, has probably about an inch of liquid. This is probably maybe about around a half inch or so. So a half inch of precipitation, that's going to help a little bit. But really, when you want to take that sledgehammer, just want to those drought conditions, really need probably about, a solid, 3 inches over a 2-week period of precipitation, or, a really big rainstorm where you could pick up like 2.5 inches. What we saw last week helped. We picked up probably over an inch of of precipitation generally from that storm. And then this is helping also, but still need, a little bit more. And, as Tara was talking about, probably got another system on the way here as we get towards the middle part of the week.
So just a little dent in helping with that.
Yep.
Andrew, thank you so much for your report. We really appreciate you braving the elements out there and just giving us a look at what you're seeing.
And give the guys who are helping.
I'm in my element.
Who are helping shovel and plow our parking lot. Please give them our
Justin and Tyler.
Gratitude.
Yes.
There we go. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. And as we've been checking around all of our area, we wanted to get another look at Queen City News anchor Julian Sador, who's been in South Charlotte, keeping an eye on things. He had a guy who was biking out in the snow.
Still insane to me, yeah.
What are you seeing now, Julian?
Look, we've talked about guys biking. We've talked about people going to Sam's Mart to get their essentials by any means necessary. And I have a father-daughter duo on the way to get some icicles. All right, share your name with everybody. Who are you?
Paul Sklar.
Okay.
My name is Alice Clark.
Okay, and so what are you guys doing? You said there's some icicles around here. You going on an icicle hunt?
Some icicles that are about this long that we picked up earlier today, and we're going to go back and see if they've reformed.
How cool is this to be out here with your dad getting icicles and seeing snow in Charlotte?
It's amazing. We haven't seen snow in like 8 years.
Got a good memory. So how old are you?
I am 12.
12 years old. So she wasn't even alive the last time we got crazy snow. I think that was, what, 2004-ish?
Yeah, I think that's about the time. Yeah, she was born in 2013, so we pray for snow every year, and we don't get it, but this time we got it. This is real, yeah.
Do you remember that last blizzard? Where were you when that happened?
I think I was in the same house down off of Carmel Road. Yeah, so we experienced it, but this one is nice. This is good snow.
Okay, so Ella has a brother that's inside right now playing video games. He wanted to come out with you guys. I mean, do you want to give him a shout out? Because I feel like you have the way cooler night.
Oh, his name is Mason Sklar.
And what game is he playing? Do you know?
He's probably playing like Roblox or something. I don't know.
You think he's going to freak out when he sees that his little sister was on TV?
Yeah.
Get off your games, Mason.
This is real life stuff. This is cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go let you guys safely cross the road. Let's go wait for this next car to pass and go ahead and get some icicles. The guys, they've already promised me they're going to bring me back a cool one if they find some near that fountain. I think we're safe to go. All right, guys, enjoy. Thank you so much. I want to show you guys something else here because we're meeting all the cool people, right? So, check this out. I talked to the guys over there at Sam's Mart. Do you want to know how they're clearing the parking lot? Check out this bad boy. So I know there's not a lot of snow blowers down here in Charlotte, but you got a leaf blower, right? So check this bad boy out. I promised him I'd give it back to him. Let's see if we can find the sidewalk here in South Charlotte. Let's turn this guy on here. That's how powdery the snow is. But that's how much of it we got. There is a sidewalk underneath here somewhere. See if I can go up on the power.
That is incredible. That is literally showing
that
us.
Right there.
You're showing it.
That was my mark from earlier, guys.
Yeah.
That was me about, I don't know, last time I joined you, 20, 30 minutes ago. So that's how much snow has come down since I last talked to you guys. But if you're at home and you have a leaf blower, you're like, how am I going to get all this snow off my driveway? Say hello to my little friend, okay? Take your leaf blower out there, and you'll be able to get at least the top layer off, guys.
Julian, please make sure you give that blower back to the fella in that store. He's like, what is that guy doing out there with that? But I think it's important to note what you mentioned, that it was hard to see the sidewalk. You're near Providence and Sardis, and that tells you how much snow has accumulated just on the south side of town.
Exactly. No, we've seen consistent snowfall. It has gotten a little bit lighter. That's good. The wind has kind of settled down a little bit. It's actually, of course, as I say that, it's starting to blow back into my eyes. So I'm going to put down my handy dandy ski goggles here. Very warm inside of these. Anything helps. But yes, Matt, as you mentioned, it kind of gives you an idea of just how much snow we've seen here. You can barely see the roadway. There's a median somewhere out here. You can't see the median. And so it makes for really dangerous driving conditions. This person's doing a pretty good job of going at a decent speed limit, or speed, I should say. You're way below the speed limit down here. We've seen some people racing down here, going 35, 40 miles per hour. One, you shouldn't be on the roadways, but if you have to be, please go slow. And I showed you how far it is to the bottom here. We have an ice layer now, as I kind of showed you last time. It's slippery, so if you're walking, make sure you keep in mind to take it slow. Wear some boots. Some sneakers are not going to give you enough traction here. It's slippery, it's cold, and it's getting dark, and things are freezing over, guys.
You know, we
got some dogs joining you.
He can't even see
it.
Look at them. Hey, guys.
They wanted their 5 minutes of fame.
This is historical. Huh? Okay, do we have time to come on? Do you guys want to yeah, okay. This is historical. He says, what's your name, sir?
I'm Stefan Lacaria. I'm from here.
You're from here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you remember the last snowfall?
Of course, I remember them all. But I used to live in Detroit, so in Iowa, so I know snow. But 2002, which we call 03, snowstorm, that put the whole city out of commission. We had to leave home. That was horrible. Lost power, but 04 was really good. I built an igloo and was in the newspaper and everything.
Okay.
But this is historical. This is what the kids are going to remember.
100%. Yes. Thank you so much, man. I'll let you get back to it. And I believe, guys, watch this live TV happens. Remember the father-daughter duo?
They're back.
They're back.
They're back.
They're back.
And they have gifts.
Look at this.
Whoa.
From
Gift to you.
Wow.
A gift for me. So I take it a lot of icicles over there, huh?
Oh, there are a lot of them. Big ones.
There we go. Okay, guys, so you got icicles, we have leaf blowers, we got people bringing out enough to carry a snow sleigh, a husky team out there. So we have everything for you here in South Charlotte. But again, if you don't have to be on the roadways, stay inside, unless you're going to grab some really cool icicles like these two. Guys, I'm going to send it back inside to the studio to you.
Julian, I don't know what to expect for the next live shot, but I'm not sure how you can outdo yourself.
Top
with what
yourself
you just...
every single time, Julian. That's just who you are. You're impressive. You're a Renaissance man.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, get warm out there, Julian. Well, I'm glad we got a chance to.
All of it in one. So we
Catch back
talked
up
about the
with them,
icicles
right?
at the beginning, and now we got them at the end. Dude, they're massive.
Oh my God.
That could take your eye out.
Yeah.
Don't look up this time of year. Please don't, because those are massive. I think he was saying that it was from a fountain nearby.
Something like that. Yeah. Be careful if you see those. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention there are some folks out there who have no choice but to be on the roads. You know, there are some folks who just have to, whether it's a job or they have to go check up on someone. We understand, you know, as much as we say, stay off the roads. There are some people who just cannot. But if you are having to get out there on the road and travel wherever you are across our viewing area, please be safe and take it slow. And speaking of cars on the roads and conditions, we've got a picture of a situation that's happening outside right now. This is a live look.
Car in a ditch.
Yeah.
In Concord right now. You can see how much the snow is coming down at this point in time. Very dangerous, very hazardous. We appreciate first responders and doctors and the people who have to be out and about for doing what they do. If you have to be out, again, please take it easy, take it slow. And as we continue to look at this, we'll send you out to a break and we'll be right back. Queen City News, the most honored and most local news here in Charlotte. As we come back here, take a look at this extraordinary video outside of Gastonia tonight. This is from the Gastonia Police Facebook page via Jesus Gutierrez. You can see a train coming through and colliding with a semi stuck on the tracks. Oh. Gastonia PD is saying this is why they're telling residents to stay off of the roads. And wow, that is terrifying, and it's just hard to watch.
Yeah, we are, first off, just the video in itself takes your breath away. Well, we're not getting any reports of injuries at this time. Fortunately.
But wow, it's just very dangerous. And you talk about sometimes cars getting stuck or stalled on tracks. That could be it, or just the conditions themselves being an issue. So it's just a very scary out there.
And who knows, it could have just been some ice on that crossing, that semi, got stuck on possibly. And of course, a train can plow right through that ice. That's no issue. So when they say stay off the road, if you can, that's another reason why. But fortunate.
Yeah, I was thinking, reported. And I was also thinking about this too, the CATS, the light rail, whenever I was doing my live reports back on Monday, they have an ice cutter train that goes through to help remove some of the ice and break it up on the tracks. And, not sure what the case is or how that works with trains specifically, but that's why they do it here in Charlotte that way.
Important stuff there. Let's get back out live to Queen City News reporter, Shakira Speaks, who is live for us in North Charlotte. And Shakira, where you appear to be standing, snow still coming down.
It has not stopped, Matt and Jen. It was a lot thicker maybe 30, 45 minutes ago. Actually, our last hit, it was a lot thicker than what it is coming down right now. It is kind of lightened up a bit, but it's still coming down. And it's coming down so fast. Again, I told you guys on my last report that people are trying to get home, get to work, get wherever they need to be. I want to show my photographer, Marcus, is going to point the camera back here. We have a car stuck in a ditch. We have been talking about this treacherous hill for the last 2-3 hours. And sorry, hold on one second. There's this, if you don't have a car like this, you shouldn't be out, guys. We have a car. We're gonna go back out to this ditch right here. There's a car that slid into a ditch. We watched it happen. There have been several trucks that have been trying to pull it out, but people are trying to get up that hill as fast as they can. And the snow is just coming down so fast that whatever tire tracks, whatever path has been cleared out is just filled with snow. Like I said, they're trying to get him out right now. Some snow plows have come out there, but the way that he is sitting, he's not able to get out. They're not able to get out. So a lot of people are trying again to get up this hill, and it has the hill is 100 right now, killing everybody trying to get out. Trying to get home. It has still coming down, guys. I want you guys to see this. Still light and fluffy. It doesn't feel like it's gonna come down anytime soon. Stop anytime soon. We're still standing out here. Oh, if you can swing around here, Marcus, to this car right here. I don't know if you guys saw this the last time. Somebody couldn't drive their car, and it's just been sitting here for the last 3 hours. We kept watching it and watching it and watching it, and nobody has come, and it's just sitting here now. I guess the owner will come and get it as soon as this lightens up, guys. We're gonna watch this truck. We're gonna watch these cars try to pull this car out. We might go up there to see if these people are okay, and we'll report back to you guys.
Shakira, when we talked to you last time, you said that you and your photographer Marcus there were trying to possibly going to see if you could help those folks that were stuck. What was the latest on that situation earlier as we're now looking at this new situation there?
We were able to help those people get out, and as soon as we walked back in to our car to get warm, we saw another car get stuck, and I was like, well, we helped the first car, so we're going to have to try to help this other car.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you become a good Samaritan, you always have to be a good Samaritan, Matt. You can't just pick and choose when you're a good person. So we're going to walk back up there and see if we can, hopefully, I guess, record us helping these people, unless these nice trucks can help this person out.
And on that same situation that we're looking at right now, did you see a driver, possibly a family in that vehicle there at all, or we're just seeing the vehicle?
Single man headed home.
Okay.
He was let off from his job a little late and got in his car and was like, I think I can make it home. And he knew that he was going to have to get up this hill, and he just thought that he could pass behind a big truck that came before him. And he just didn't. I think he was in a Honda Civic, if I can remember. And by the time he slid down, he was like, I can't do it, and kind of got stuck right there. But some people were able to help him out. I pushed just a little bit. We left the camera over here, but next time we'll make sure that we get video of that.
And Shakira, before we let you go, you were explaining earlier about what some of the challenges are with this hill. How steep is it? Like, how could you explain it to people who don't know what it normally looks like out there?
Right.
Yeah, so you got to come in off of this road right here, and it's a good little incline to the point where even on a dry day you got to add a little acceleration. You got to rev the engine just a little bit to get up there. This hill actually has a lot of accidents. I live around this area, so the North Tryon Street near the Walmart and the CVS. This QT at the corner. There's a lot of accidents up here all the time because people are trying to race up this hill because of the steepness. So because it has ice on it, I'm sure that I'm very glad we haven't seen any terrible accidents, just people getting stuck.
And Shakira, we see someone at the bottom of the hill there. I know photographer Marcus just pulled back, but you can see
Marcus,
right
can
there
you
at the
see
bottom
that?
of the hill there. There's
With
that white
another
white
car
there.
Right at the bottom of the hill.
It's a
Yes,
sedan.
another car. Again, there's a median right here, guys. And if you can't see it because the snow has covered everything. But now I'm counting two cars trying to help this one car get out of the ditch. And then we've got another car that's that has its hazards on and trying to reverse, hopefully not sliding back. But then there's another car over here off to my right that's standing and just waiting. I don't know if this road is completely blocked, but I wouldn't try to get up this road right now.
And that's the
try
tough
to find
part.
another way
And that's the
to
tough
get
part,
home.
Shakira. You may have some folks trying to be good Samaritans to help those people out stuck on the hill.
And then they get stuck
themselves. That's tough.
And then they get stuck. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Stay off the roads if you can. We want to make sure as many people as possible stay as safe as possible and not get stuck in any ditches, any holes that you can't see on the road, any icy spots and slick spots. Unless you have a car like these people. This is live. Hello. Hi guys. Everybody's out having fun in the snow. Unless you have a car like that, it's probably not safe to be out, guys. You want to be as safe as possible, and you want to keep the first responders as safe as possible and other people. You don't know what's going on in people's cars.
You can't forget about that because first responders are going to be the ones responding to those incidents, and we don't want to put them at risk as well. Shakira speaks live for us in North Charlotte. Shakira, we'll check back in with you later. Appreciate you.
I feel like that paints the picture right there.
It does,
It's almost like the perpetual cycle. We want to make sure that people are not getting into those situations where they just literally cannot get out.
And once again, there are people who do have to get on the road, unfortunately, right now. So we're asking people just to take it safe, play it safe, and take it slow because it can get real dicey out there. Let's get back over to Pinpoint Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane. Tara, we've been watching that play out there in North Charlotte. We've been seeing what's happening in South Charlotte with Julian Sador, Providence, and Sardis. We're kind of getting a picture of the current conditions outside.
And our producer and assistant news director, Brad, he was just in my ear saying, look at that snow, it's still coming down. And we are seeing that. I mean, this storm, definitely, I would call it an overachiever, as maybe a lot of you would call it out there all week long. We were forecasting those possible snow totals 3 to 6 inches. And then we increased those numbers yesterday to 4 to 8 inches. But then the whole time we were saying, We knew that there could be some isolated higher totals, and sure enough, there are. And look at this, Kannapolis, one of the big winners today. If you're a snow lover, big winner if you're a snow lover, 14.5 inches, the latest snow report coming in. And that's done, I mean, Huntersville picking up a foot of snow officially, at least. Again, because in some of these neighborhoods, it's still coming down. Tega so far at last check, about 7 inches of snow. Center City, Charlotte had about 8. And my friend Kathleen, thank you so much for your report out of Albemarle there in Stanley County. About 8 inches of snow there off to the east of Charlotte, and Harrisburg picking up close to 13 inches. Also one of the big winners. Cramerton, about a foot of snow. Boiling Springs had not far from 10 inches, along with Stanley and Mooresville picking up over 8 inches of snow. And as we have been seeing by the live reports here and a live look at radar, you can see the snow and still plenty of blue showing up on the map from the Queen City and point south and heading on up into Cabarrus County. Still some light to occasionally moderate snow wrapping in through the foothills as well. And we've got some of those heavier bands that continue, those little strips of some darker blue indicating some of those heavier bands of snow moving on up into Chesterfield County, Lancaster County, and lifting up into parts of Union County, Anson, Richmond County, up toward the Triad. It's still heavily snowing. And finally, for people in Raleigh who have been waiting on the snow for quite some time with that dry slot that was in place from around the Sandhills, Fayetteville area, and for a good part of the day up toward the Triangle, we've got that kind of snow hole filling in a little more. And you can see that steadier snow that continues up around Virginia Beach, Virginia, and out toward our coastal plain communities, the Sounds, and out there along the Outer Banks where they could have been looking at blizzard conditions at times. And the wind, big part of the story here today too, because for the people who have been out and about driving, really reducing that visibility, and it's like whiteout conditions at times. And because of the intensity of the snow, as much as 1 inch to 1.5 inches, or even just over 1 inch per hour. That's how heavily that snow has been falling at times. And this is another live look, Independence Boulevard heading into East Charlotte. It looks like some people pulled over there, right there on the bridge. A couple of cars driving by, and I know the road crews, we've been seeing the trucks go by from time to time and plowing some of the snow away, but obviously it's still falling, so it's filling in those marks there and those more plowed spots on the streets and some of the sidewalks after you shovel. Yeah, it fills up again pretty quickly. So visibility still showing up at a half a mile or less, especially down through Chesterfield County and driving around there across parts of the Piedmont and up into the mountains as well, where that wind is whipping. Wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles per hour. We've got a wind advisory in effect for you all in the high country because those gusts will likely increase as we get deeper into the night and through a good part of the day tomorrow, upwards of 50 miles per hour. So those higher elevations really feeling it. This is dangerous cold here that we're talking about. Single digit actual air temperatures right now. It's about 3 degrees in Boone, 5 in Jefferson. These numbers have been holding pretty much the entire day as the snow has continued to fall, not moving much at all in the upper teens to lower 20s in the foothills and the Piedmont. But when you factor in any sort of breeze, it feels like it's in the single digits. And this is what we're talking about. You go outside and taking a walk and out there with the dogs and doing some sledding. It's like you just start to feel those numb fingers, and even when you're protected with the gloves and the hats and toes and everything. So it's like you'd like to spend maybe a longer period of time outside, but it's just so cold, especially with the breeze, that you have to head inside and try and thaw out and warm up. So definitely something that you're taking seriously out there, and we're going to continue to have to do that with those chills getting even colder as we get through the night. Right now it feels like 8 degrees outside with the breeze, and Salisbury feels like about 10 to 20 degrees already below zero up in the mountains with those chills. Now, if you're wondering, when is all of this finally going to come to an end? Maybe you don't want it to end. Maybe you want more snow. But if you want to see it come to an end, we get closer and closer to midnight. We see a big drop off in the snow chances. So as we head into the overnight, early tomorrow morning, snow is over and done with. Let's check out Futurecast. You can see through 11 o'clock tonight, we have that back edge of the widespread shield of snow starting to clear the area, pushing off to the east. Cloud cover clears out, all of us waking up to beautiful sunshine into tomorrow morning. Now, the exception up in the mountains where some of that blowing snow, some lingering flurries, and the cloud cover will hang on for a little bit longer. What about any melting? It's going to be a real slow process here over the next couple of days. So tomorrow, even with the sun, temperatures will stay below freezing. We'll get some melting on Monday with those temperatures creeping up closer to 40. maybe. Again, we have that snowpack on the ground. That keeps the air temperature on the colder side. 9 in the morning, but any melting that we get happening on Monday, refreezing, again happening at night. So down to 19 for Tuesday, 40s returning Tuesday afternoon through the rest of the week. So that's going to feel downright balmy, isn't it? Yeah, a warmer stretch ahead, but we do get another chance of maybe a little bit of some scattered showers, a little bit of a snow mix, nothing like what we've seen here lately, but that is possible by the middle part of the week, maybe some additional accumulating snow up in the mountains by midweek, guys.
You know, Tara, one thing I'm looking forward to, and Andrew had mentioned this, is when the sun shines in the morning, the crystals, it'll be so pretty to look at and so shiny, and you forget about it when you don't see it all the time like this.
I know. The contrast with the white, all that blanket of white on the ground, and the blue sky overhead. Yes, it's going to be a pretty morning.
And no typo with Tara's low on Monday.
No.
Not 19.
9.
We don't see that often. We do not see that often.
Yeah.
Single digits. Tara, thank you so much. And we're going to send this to break. We'll be right back on the other side of this. This is Queen City News, the most honored and most local news in Charlotte.
Welcome back to Queen City News. Take a look at this extraordinary video out of Gastonia tonight. This is from the Gastonia Police Facebook page via Jesus Gutierrez. You can see a train coming through and colliding with a semi that was stuck on the tracks. Gastonia Police say that this is exactly why they are telling residents to stay off the roads. We've been told that there are no reported injuries, which is great news, but man, this video.
And the train takes forever to be able to stop too because of the momentum. Any kind of big vehicle is going to take a lot longer to slow down in any type of conditions, especially the conditions we're looking at outside.
Oh, you got that right.
We want to take a look now at the FlightAware Misery map, where there are numerous delays and cancellations across the country, including over at Charlotte, where we're seeing 142 of them. Charlotte Douglas International Airport is no longer on that ground stop that ended around 7 o'clock tonight, but most of the flights
Canceled.
pretty much canceled out there. So even if folks are having to travel, it's probably not happening. You want to make sure you're definitely checking in with your airline if you have any plans to be flying anytime soon.
And we know a lot of the airlines probably offering a chance for you to change your flight at no cost, at no fee, because this is weather related. But we do know there are probably folks stuck inside Douglas right now, hoping to possibly get a hotel room or get some accommodations tonight.
Yes, it would be very chilly in there if
Yeah.
you were not able to. We did want to check in with meteorologist Andrew Brightman, who has been braving the cold outside, to give us another look at what you're seeing at this point in time. How have things changed, Andrew, since we last spoke to you?
Well, really, Jen and Matt, the snow has definitely gotten lighter. Just what happens is the snowflakes have gotten smaller, still kind of coming down at the same rate, but the flakes get smaller and smaller and smaller because they're not kind of, it doesn't have that same upward motion with it as that main upper level low we were talking about earlier starts to move away. But it's still snowing. Visibility has improved now, probably up around, I'd say, almost a mile or so here at our Queen City News studios. And yeah, somewhere between probably 9 and 10 inches of snow. It really has been incredible, this particular storm. And yeah, it's just been really, really impressive. Still very, very cold. Temperatures still keep kind of playing with my breath here. As we deal with the temperatures down in the upper teens, it feels like temperatures down in the single digits. Now, people, I've still been seeing the cars come. For the most part, I'd say been relatively reasonable in terms of speed, but still, it's just very, very dangerous out there. Stay at home, everyone. Just look outside, look at the snow, and then when you wake up tomorrow morning, get your coffee, make yourself some breakfast, you'll see, as Jen was talking about, those glistening ice crystals, because it's going to be a completely clear sky. Now, we do have, roughly 10 inches of snowpack on the ground, so I think it's going to be a struggle just to get out of the 20s, but it will at least look beautiful if you're nice and warm inside. So, is snow slowly starting to taper off as expected here, but I think we'll probably still see flakes flying at this point until probably almost around midnight or so. But at least at that point, it'll be very, very light and probably seen about at least over 90% of our total of accumulation. But what a storm this has been. And yeah, what a day is going to be across the Carolinas. We see a lot more youngsters here around the Central Carolinas doing a lot of sledding all across the region.
Well, plenty of that will be happening.
And we see you, Andrew, enjoying your inner child still, checking out your breath outside. So we very much appreciate that. Look at him.
There we go. Time number 2. Andrew, thank you very much. Remember, you're watching Queen City News, the most honored and the most local news in Charlotte. One last check at Independence Boulevard in East Charlotte.
Got one car going there, taking it easy. If you have to be out there, that's what we'd like you to do. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back into Queen City News as we enter our final little break here of what we're looking at. We have a live look at Arlington camera where this might be the best visibility that we have had so far this evening.
Oh, I think so. That means that snow is tapering off, as Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane has told us. And you know what? Queen City News anchor Alicia Barnes has just been such a trooper today. She's had a bit of fun. She went sledding, but she's also been keeping us very up to date on the conditions happening in South Carolina.
And Alicia, we very much appreciated your shout out to us. We wanted to shout you out too for all the hard work you've been doing out in the snow. How are things looking right now?
I have to say, you guys have been doing amazing. I know how hard it is being live wall to wall, but I have got to tell you a couple things. You know, when you cover things live, as you both have out here, there's certain moments that just stay with you forever. And as it gets dark right now, the one thing that I saw is a man walking down the street carrying his groceries. You never know what somebody else's story is. Obviously, he wouldn't want to be out here if he had a car, was able to get around. But I ran into these guys who were out helping people here in the Fort Mill area. So, Ethan, you're going to do all the talking for us right now. You got your ATVs behind you. We're going to show them as you take off. But first, tell us, how are you helping people out here in Fort Mill?
I mean, we've seen a couple situations where people have gone off the side of the road or stuff like that. I mean, there's only so much you can be doing on ATVs to help them out, but luckily York County Sheriff, Fort Mill Police Department, they've all gotten to them pretty quick and helped them out as much as they can. So got a good group of law enforcement in the area and first responders to help them out. But out here having fun, trying to help whoever we can, see if down trees anywhere. But it's definitely take advantage of this weather when we got it, so South Carolina doesn't get it a whole lot.
Yeah, and Ethan goes to Catawba Ridge. I have been so proud of you guys because not only are you safe, you're helping people out here, but it's also kind of fun. So talk to us about the fun part, and what do your parents tell you before you get out here?
I mean, my parents know that we've grown up doing this type of stuff all our lives, so whenever they tell us to go out, they say go out, have fun, don't be an idiot. I mean, don't die, don't flip, help people if you can, but I mean, we got a curfew, so we're home by curfew, and, you know, we're running around. I mean, they're probably going to come run around with us here in a little bit, I hope. But, yeah, they love seeing us do stuff like this. I mean, this is how we were raised. Go out, have fun in any weather you can get in, so.
Yeah, and what is your experience? Give me your name.
My name is Addie.
Okay, Addie, you go to Catawba Ridge
Yes,
too?
I do. So I actually just met them. I met them through another friend, and for the past few days, it has been so much fun, especially because school's been canceled. So we've literally been taking the ATVs out at like 8 in the morning. We've been riding down all of the trails all near Linwood in his neighborhood and in the back, and they're so pretty, and we can do a ton of tricks on here. Like, they go really fast, they spin around. I mean, you saw us spinning around earlier. It's so much fun.
Okay, so when we get off camera, I'm going to have you take me on a little tour a little bit. Yeah, just because I know you're safe, I know you know safety, and I've never been on one that I would really love to be able to take that trip. But we won't do that live on TV. Any other thoughts?
Everybody needs to stay safe, you know, have fun, enjoy it, and I don't know.
Just be safe.
Just be
What's
safe.
the coolest thing that you've seen? Because I've seen a lot of people, I know behind my house, they go down that big hill. And I know you know what I'm talking about because you've probably been down there before too. But what really comes to mind, just because we have not experienced this kind of snow before?
I mean, speaking from last weekend, seeing that this is the most snow I've seen in South Carolina in a week. Last week we came out here at around 8 or 9 in the morning, and there were side-by-sides, ATVs, trucks out everywhere. And I just like seeing everyone come together to ride like that. And I mean, you should have seen my people that stopped on the side of the road to help that one guy. I mean, I just love seeing the community come together and stuff like this and have fun and help each other out when everybody needs it. So it's just a really cool thing to see.
That is perfectly well said. Thank you, Ethan. Thanks, guys. And I look forward to that ride in a couple minutes here. People helping people out here. That's what we're doing in Fort Mill. And as we get ready to wrap up our coverage, think about the homeless tonight. You know, for people who don't have a place to be able to go, and your elderly neighbors that you want to be able to check on. So I'm going to send it back to the studio. Matt, Jen, it's been a day today.
It has.
It sure has.
It has been a day.
And we can't wait to see how the ATV ride goes. So thank you, Alicia Barnes, for your reporting. We did want to get one final check at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane. Tara, what do you have in store for us for the rest of this evening?
Yes, well, we're seeing that snow lightening up in a lot of neighborhoods, and that's going to continue to be the case. We could still get some more moderate and even heavy bands rolling on through, especially down there into South Carolina, areas east of Charlotte, before it finally pushes out closer we get to midnight and beyond. Tomorrow is a sunny day with just all that lingering snow. Obviously, we're talking about a foot or more of snow on the ground in some cases. Kannapolis, one of the big winners today. If you love the snow, snow. 14.5 inches reported there. Huntersville picking up officially about a foot of snow. TKK about 7 inches. Center City, Charlotte had about 8, along with Albemarle in Stanley County. Harrisburg over a foot of snow there for you all too. Cramerton, same, 12 inches. Boiling Springs, 9.5 inches. Stanley, about 10 inches of snow. Mooresville picking up close to 8.5 inches. So we still have some of the scattered areas of snow rolling on through here, especially from Charlotte Point south. Those heavier batches still ongoing at times, especially from the triad there. And now we've got kind of that snow hole that's been filling in a little more around the triangle. They've been waiting a while for some of that snow in Raleigh. Starting to see some of that Fayetteville too, or just to the west of Fayetteville, eastern North Carolina. And you can see with those darker shades of purple and some of the blue, some of those heavier batches, more moderate to heavy rounds of snow still pushing in. Boy, snow covered roads obviously continue. The sidewalks out there, live look along Independence Boulevard. I don't see, I mean, you can see it looks like maybe some trucks or a couple of cars in the distance, but look at that, a quiet stretch of road for the most part. We still have some whiteout conditions at times with that snow flying around, especially with the wind that is so blustery. It's getting even stronger up there in the mountains with the wind advisory that will go into the day tomorrow with those gusts around 50 miles per hour. So you factor that into the temperatures that are sitting in the single digits up in the mountains and down into the teens and 20s everywhere else. And it feels like it is in the single digits. Outside of the mountains feels like, look at those chills, 10 to 20 or so degrees below zero up there in the higher elevation. So snow chances will continue to decrease. As I said, the later we get into the night, there we go, all the way down to 0 by 1 o'clock in the morning for a good part of the area. We could still have maybe a little bit of leftover snow to the east of Charlotte, but I mean, this is the thing. There's not going to be much melting taking place until maybe Monday afternoon, and then refreezing that we're still going to have to deal with over the next several nights going into next week. Smaller chance of a little snow by the middle of next week.
Thank you very much.
Seems so long from now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We have UConn versus Creighton after this, and then we'll be joining you for Queen City News at 10 o'clock.
I'll see you then.
We should mention, though, as far as the traffic issues are concerned, though, there's really not that many to write home about.
Good news, no one on the road there on Independence.
Looking outside snow-covered streets, you can see it right here. Fortunately, I'm not seeing any vehicles out on the roadways.
In Union County as well, as we know that. You're watching Queen City News, the most honor and the most local news in Charlotte. Be right back.
And I believe this is Monroe, our Monroe camera. So that's good news. Stay home, people.
And we'll keep you updated on those outages there.